Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to the Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Today, our guest is Raffy. Raffy, how are you doing today?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you. So, let us know where you live and what you do.
So I'm in California, beautiful Orange County, and I help CPG companies with their cash flow problems, mostly the growing pains. Yeah. So just on the accounting and finance side.
Awesome. So, Raffy, can you let us know what inspired you to start this business?
Yeah. I mean, I think for a lot of the people that might be able to relate, COVID, 2020 was a big pivot point. So I was already working a hybrid schedule, and that kind of just solidified going remote. Yeah, it was part of a couple great companies. They got acquired. I learned those skill sets of acquisition. And, we kind of went different ways after the company was sold, and remote work kind of seemed to line up. And different CFOs that had worked previously had started reaching out to me just on referral businesses. Hey, we're working here. Can you help us out with our collections? And that kind of just got started. It was a spin from there, but it wasn't something that I thought, I'm like, I'm going to make a business out of this. It's more like, okay, I need to pay bills, and how can I be of service to others? And it just kind of grew from there.
That's great. So, in your case, working remotely is not a problem, right?
No, it depends. It depends. Yeah, it hasn't been for me. I will be honest. Recently, though, with the economy changing, a lot of bigger companies wanting more in person, I'm having to do a little bit of, hey, come meet the team that you're going to be working with in the office, and then kind of proving myself, and then slowly switching over to a remote work. Yeah.
Awesome. So, you are not location dependent, I believe. Like you are operating in the whole US. Do you have any preference of any state?
No, pretty much. Yeah, anything in the U.S. Yeah, it's companies, they could be international. They can be selling to Canada, Europe, whatnot. But as long as they're U.S. based, their headquarters. Yeah, so I've worked with companies in Texas, out in L.A., and I'm in Orange County. So saving the commute. Yeah, wherever they're at, as long as we have internet, everything's pretty much online portals. That's a beautiful thing about this business.
Awesome. But there are differences in the financial laws and some other things like in West Coast, East Coast, Central. This can be a problem for someone who is not aware of all these things. So this is completely okay for you. You are working in all these states, and you know all ins and outs about financially for the companies, right?
Yeah, so in that regard, I do try to stay within my lane. Like I said, I got my start into the CPG, which is consumer packaged goods. So any company that sells through a Target or a Walmart or a Costco, and they're selling a physical product, they're having to create invoices. And so I help them with that, like turning that invoice into cash in their bank account. So that's where I stay my lane. I have worked with growers, which they're selling a product like berries or fruit. It's still a physical product that's being transported back and forth. A client that I have right now, though, is I'm trying to get into the technology space where they're doing software development and providing servers and kind of even Google Suite, Microsoft Office Suite. So that's a little different. The billing's a little different. But business is business. You still have a month end. You still have revenue. You still have sales goals. You still have collections you have to do. So yeah, for me, it's going to keep me on my toe, but that's where I see myself kind of leaning into and taking on that skill set and learning that industry. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I believe the bigger differences are in taxes, maybe like the different tax rates and their handling in different states, but not other things. Obviously, other things remain same, right?
Correct. Not, so I say more, I guess, granular, not the CPA level where I have to worry about super detail like that. More like, hey, if we invoiced 100 grand and change, how much of that did we collect? What was, potentially excluded? What was not collected? And trying to reduce those numbers, right? So like try to increase those collection rates. If you invoice 100,000, try to get paid 100,000 and not 50,000.
Makes sense. Completely makes sense. All right. So, Rafi, in terms of marketing, because marketing is one of the essential for any business, and marketing is directly associated with the sales of any company. So, how you are marketing your services? Because as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, I'm trying to understand like how you think about it. Because right now there's a boom of the digital marketing, but still, digital marketing doesn't work equally for everybody. Because this may This may be different for company to company. And on the other hand, more stable companies work on word of mouth, and they are more lean towards the offline marketing. So how you are managing? You are relying on digital marketing or offline marketing or mix and match?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And to be honest, when I got started, it was all referral based, so word of mouth. It's people, team members that I've had that in previous companies that hey, Raffy's really good at AR, and let's get him in here and help. I think what I'm realizing now is so I kind of got started with LinkedIn, right? I figured out that's where most of my companies are, most of my clients are, and not necessarily to be my marketing funnel or my acquisition funnel, but more to differentiate myself as like hey, sharing what I'm seeing with clients and giving them information and case studies of what my work has included and what kind of results we're getting for them. And just layering that as like, hey, go check out what I'm sharing on LinkedIn. But I'm still relying on working with recruiters, right? So recruiters are kind of my point of like, hey, these are the type of clients that I want because it's hard to change an industry that relies old school methods of, hey, let's, for example, a CFO, they want to hire an AR person. They're going to, who do we know in the industry? Recruiters that send us qualified people. So myself is like, how do I differentiate myself as a potential person, a hands-on experience that I can go in there? And so it's like that LinkedIn social media aspect marketing that kind of helps me stand out. Like, hey, this guy actually understands. He knows what he's talking about. He's been there. He's done that. I have recommendations there from clients, and that's what I lean on. Obviously, then sending connection requests, building that relationship. I'm a big fan of being a customer first of any product that I work with. So a lot of the companies that I've worked with, I've either stumbled upon the products, used it, loved it, and then kind of started a relationship with their finance accounting team or with their CFO founders. And then they usually bring me on because of again what they see that I've done. They're like, oh, hey, you actually not only you're a customer, but you actually provide services in the finance accounting side. We want you to come in here. So that kind of helps. It's like almost like a stool, right? Three-legged approach.
Well, that's great. Awesome. So, obviously, Rafi, every business do have competition in the market.
Mhm.
And I believe you must also have the competitors in the market. So, what is that sets you apart from the market? What are your core differentiators?
And so it's a more, I consider myself more of a plug and play, right? So instead of wasting your time, again, as a recruiter trying to hire the right employee, you can just plug me in, understand what I need to do, and I can execute pretty quickly, right? So those 90 days that you're spending ramping up a new hire, I can get your results in those 90 days, right? So if we're going after accounts, that's the difference that I really stress about is you're not gonna have to teach me the ropes. The fact that I've worked in different companies, have worked with different ERP systems, platforms, I've been exposed to how to use them and how to work with them. So I'm able to just plug in with the team and be an extension of the current team. And I'm not there to take their job. I'm there to train them, teach them on what I've seen works best in other companies. And so when I walk away, they're left, in a better position than they were. And obviously businesses, they're already doing the stuff that works. I just help them streamline and make them a little more efficient than they were, giving tits and bits of like, hey, this could change it. It could save you time or whatnot. So that's lead with value, right? That's again, my key point is leave a value and leave the place better than when I got there.
That makes sense. Awesome. So, just from my understanding, for more clarity, who are your ideal customers? Like, you prefer more the early stage businesses, or you work more comfortably with the established businesses?
Correct. That's been my experience. So a business usually within my experience, they're doing 10 million at the low, right? So they have a department, and what I call is they're really experiencing the growing pains of the cash conversion cycle of like, hey, we want to grow, but we need to get better at collections, right? Because they're sitting on retailers waiting for the retailer to pay them. And sometimes their terms can be 30, 60, 90 days plus. You send the product and you're waiting that long to collect, right? If things break, if things go wrong, if an invoice is not accurately sent, then that delays that process and you're expecting money to hit your bank account and it doesn't. And if you don't have somebody like me who is on it and is being held accountable to like, hey, we want to make sure that what we invoice gets collected when it's due, then you have those issues where you can't pay, your other departments or growing pains is what I call it.
Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. But the mid-level companies face more problems in this case because the bigger companies are more like in a streamlined process, but mid-sized companies do have a lot of incoming and outgoing, but they don't have good processes in place. So I believe this is one of the best positions where you can.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like what's coming up, like no 2, 3 steps ahead, and kind of creating the foundation now. So when you get there, you avoid that. That's the other piece.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. All right. So, Ravi, many businesses, obviously, you must have a good eye on it, that many businesses are coming into the market every day. On the other hand, many businesses just burn out and shut down. right? So most of the time, what we discovered is, as per our observation, they face challenges on day-to-day basis. Like every day comes with a new challenge, and because of these challenges, they just burn out. So, can you share one challenge? Because I believe every entrepreneur faces challenges, and I'm sure you must have faced many challenges. I'm not saying you have not faced any challenges, but yeah.
Absolutely.
So, if you can share only one challenge with us that you have ever faced, and how you were able to address that challenge.
Yeah, that's a great question. I would go, I guess, so one for, let's say, my clients. It's waiting too long to bring in help, right? You got your core team, things seem to be working, but you hire a new sales rep and they kill it, man. They go and they land you a target. Right now, your revenue, let's say 2x, right? And we're talking about everything compounds, number of invoices, number of transactions. And so your current AR team that you have, whether it's one or two or three or five people, they're at capacity, right? And they can't handle the growth. So that's when usually they're reacting to like, what do we do? Do we need to bring them higher instead of like, hey, if we're growing, making sure you have that breathing room of having somebody training and being ready to take on that growth. Because obviously a business is focused on growing, right? So they want their, especially the mid level, right? They want to get to the next step. That's one. For me personally, though, is I guess managing my engagements, right? Sometimes I can get pulled in different directions. It's a one man shop right here doing everything. So client engagement as well as marketing as well as my own needs as running my business. So it's making sure that I understand how much I can take in terms of bandwidth, and then I strive to over deliver. So I want to make sure that I'm paying attention to my clients and knowing to when to hand off some of the projects that, let's say, that we're working on, and training their team to be able to take it, right? Sometimes I forget that, I feel like I'm part of the company, but at the same time, like I'm still just more of an advisor, and that can get a little confusing because then the team members, after I'm gone, maybe a month or two, are still reaching out to me for like, hey, we did this, we did that, how do we do this? And so it's like, okay, figuring out how to streamline more of that process so that when the handoffs is gone, they know. And that's where I've been working now, is creating those proper SOPs, training, so that they have their own library of be able to help themselves, right? So it's like not only giving them the fish, but teaching them to fish.
Yeah, completely makes sense. Awesome. So, Rafi, just like other businesses, I'm sure you must have your own goals and your company goals, basically your business goals. I can say your business goals. So, what are you looking for, maybe in next 4 to 6 months?
Yeah, so this year was interesting. Obviously, I want to keep helping more clients. Like I said, I'm trying to get into the kind of software technology space. So I'm looking for clients in that regard, and I see myself probably taking on 2 to 3 clients, helping them in that capacity, and just learning the ropes. I think I'm going to be more in a season of the student, right? So learning the ins and outs, and obviously I'm going to find ways to add value into that industry, just like I've done with everything else. I took stuff from the CPG space over to a grower company as well, that fruits and berries, vegetables, and we got some great results there as well. I think it comes down to the people, right? It's building those relationships, and the fact that when I leave a client, I'm able to get referrals from them. They're not immediate. Sometimes companies take a little bit to finally understand. It's like when somebody's sick, right? It's like, hey, you don't want to go to the doctor until like you really, really, really have to. And so that's kind of where I like, they know they need the help, but like, hey, maybe we can kind of hold on and wait a couple more months, right? Until finally it's painful enough. They're like, all right, like I know somebody, and that's usually where I come in. And so it's just part of the business. But yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to adding 3 more clients that I can support and help on their growth.
Awesome, awesome. That makes sense. All right. So, Rafi, at the end, what would be your biggest piece of advice for the other entrepreneurs, or the ones who are planning to start a new business?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just understand that this is a long-term play, right? I think, I know, me being a father, husband with children, responsibilities, always share this. You got to have some sort of safety net, because there's going to be ups and downs, and sometimes it has nothing to do with you. It just has to do with, just the timing of the market. And so you got to be able to have thick skin, and be able to take feedback well, right? I mean, I've had clients usually starting on where maybe I didn't deliver what I thought I was going to be able to deliver in the time frame, and be able to stick it out and work through those things. But yeah, I think it's just having thick skin, understanding that it is a long term. And if you really want to do it, there's going to be ups and downs. So it's fun, but just like everything, there's things you're going to love about it, and there's things you're just going to probably just dislike, but it's part of the business, part of the journey. So just enjoy the journey.
Sure, makes sense. Part of the game, exactly. Awesome.
Exactly.
Well, Rafi, thank you so much for joining us, and please let our viewers know how they can reach you if someone wants to.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, so you can either go to raffygarcia.com. That'll get you straight to my LinkedIn profile. Usually take in text from there, or you can check out collectionsninja.com. That's the brand that I'm building, and that's where you can connect with me, and we can figure out how to best serve you with the growing pains. Just business.
Exactly. Well, Rafi, thank you so much for joining us today. I enjoyed the conversation, and you put some light on very common things that most of the time we are missing. We are missing, like, these are just in front of us, and we are missing them. Just like you said, sometimes we just say, okay, let's hold off for a few more months, and then we will see. And in these few months, what we are losing, we don't even expect it, and sometimes we just underestimate it. Well, thank you so much, and I will say best of luck and stay in touch. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Rafi. Have a good day. Bye bye.